Hey guys, it's Ellie from LZ Bell's Bookshelf, and I am back again today to do a tutorial on how to dye the backs of our kit pages. First, I want to show you the extra freebies I'm giving out to those who don't want to dye their papers or stamp them or whatever. I'm going to email you these digitals so that you can print them on the backs of your pages. This is for the Halloween Traveler's Notebook kit. It's got a big giant crack here and some white lines and the white border around it. And then this is for the Traveler's Notebook Autumn kits. This is for the regular size. 5 of my kits will be in regular sized. And you can choose from the drop down what size you want. And this is for the regular sized Halloween kit. So there is that. And don't forget, if you go and purchase a digital from TLC Creates Vintage, and then you come back to my shop and purchase one of my kits, and in the notes to seller write TLC, you will get some freebies from me, as well as on top of the freebies that you will already get from Paulette for purchasing one of my kits. So let's get started. All I am using here is just some aluminum pans that have been lovingly used over and over from the dollar store. This one has like the grid lines in the bottom, so it gives it a really neat effect on your paper. It probably won't show up on these though, because the other side's dyed already. But then I also have a dot aluminum pan from the dollar store, and this provides those big giant dots you see when I dye paper. Let's see if I have one here. Yes, I haven't flattened this one yet, but you can see the circles, so you'll be able to see them better once I flatten this out. Okay, so I'm just going to take 2 of my linen and leaves. I'm using the linen and leaves kits for these tutorials, and I'm going to flip them over so that the white backs are facing. I'm sorry if it's hard to see. This is as good as it's going to get with the way I have my camera set up. It's kind of weird. Okay, so I'm going to take a plate and some yellow food coloring and just squirt as much as I want in this little area over here. You can add some water to this if you want to dilute it. Okay, sorry about that. And I'm going to add just a little bit of water here. Then I have a new toothbrush, but I've already used it like this, but it is new. And I'm just going to mix it up. And then dip it in and just spray it onto the backs. I'm not worried about the big drips. I like those. And some more over here. There you go. And you can add, multiple colors. So there's that. I'm going to pop this in the oven. Okay, so now I'm going to use some red food coloring. You see. And it's going to mix with the yellow, and it's going to create orange, so I like that. I want some orange in this kit. Ooh, it's pretty. And let's add some droplets. This is really fun. There. And I'm going to pop this in the oven. Okay, so I have 2 more pages here. I would not dunk these into like tea dye or coffee dye because the other side is inkjet and it will run all of the way. If you just want to do some splatters on the back, that's cool. It might come through the front a little bit, but I do like that look. It makes it more grungy. So I have this bowl of tea that I was using for these papers over here. And I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit with my hands. And you can see it is going through. That's quite alright. You can see the graph coming through here. I think that's enough. And into the oven. And you can also spray the backs of these with like glimmer mist or alcohol ink, so you can paint the backs with some coffee lightly. You can rub your Tim Holtz ink all over it and then do some black stamping with like words or pictures. you can print on the back the images that I provide or whatever you want. And, you know, I mean, the sky's the limit. But I think I want to do some experimenting. So I'm going to take my little toothbrush and dip it in my food coloring here and maybe, like, brush it on and see what happens. Kind of like that. It's different. I like that. Pretty neat. And guys, please use a new toothbrush, not an old one. Just, you know, you know what I mean. There we go. I like that. And then on the other side, I kind of want to experiment and see if, like, I can get a glass mark. I don't know. See if it works. Sorry about that. Is that great? Grace on your ears? I know, it's terrible. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, look at that. That's cool. And then around that, some splatter. So you can get all kinds of coolness, all kinds of funky with these food coloring. Well, your hands will look funny too after you're done. Ketchup hands. Okay, into the oven. So let's look at these papers that we did while the other one is cooking. Here is the light gold leaf patterns. You can see that the yellow went through. I love it. It's like a watercolor effect almost. Really neat. Here are the orange. Pretty vibrant, and that came through. I love that. So if you don't like this, you could just print on the backs. That's neat. Like a trail of green right here. It says the ink ran a little bit. Neat. Oh, ooh, and the green ink came through the back too. Cool. Oh, this was the tea-dyed one, that's why. And you can see the grid through the paper now. How neat. I do love that. So, that is cool. So if you fold them in half to go in your journal, that's what they will look like with these colors. And I do like that. I like that a lot. And then you will have your, I will have my other coffee dyed filler papers in here too. I'm just experimenting while the papers cook. I will have a whole video on how I'm going to put my signature together. I still need to flatten these. Yay! Love that. Alright, be right back. Okay, here they are. This is the one where I brushed it with the toothbrush. And it did go through a little bit, a lot. But when it's folded, so like, here's your page. And you can still write over it. Here's the one with the mug ring. I like it. And you have it on this side too. Cool. This is all coming together now. So I don't know if I'm even gonna do anything on the other ones, but do this watercolor effect. I think it comes out really cool. And for those who are wondering, when I bake my paper, I set my oven to 250 convection bake, and the convection bake just means that the fan in the back is blowing the hot air out instead of just having the heat bars in the bottom providing the heat. I like to have the airflow all around them. I think it might prevent burning more, but I wouldn't quote me on that, and I wouldn't leave them in there too much long, you know, too much of a long time. You don't want a fire in your house. So keep an eye on them, safety first. So yeah. And so here is the tutorial on how to dye the backs of your papers. And I hope that you had fun. I did. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.